People in hectic conversations there. But hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Sorry about that. Sorry about that, being late. And I told myself that I'm gonna be on time today, but I wasn't. But I'm normally on time. What are we? Okay, so I'm trying to open my trading platform. And then also, guys, I wanted to look at the index, the light forex index, just to see what's happening overall on the dollar. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. Yeah, I'm just loading up the economic calendar. We can look at that, but it's the last week of the month, so we hardly have any news in the last week of the month. I just got to filter out and see that do we have any news for the last week of the month. But even so, man, if there's news, then I don't trade it, because obviously we preparing for NFP, which is next week. I hope it's next week. I hope I'm not, because guys, it's been very, very, very funny. Oh, okay. So we have the big one this week on Wednesday, FOMC. I didn't expect some news this week, but interest rates are gonna be released. Now, I think this is gonna be a big one personally. Mainly due to the fact that, can I just check? Yeah, so NFP is next week, should be next week. In case that Trump doesn't change his mind and do something like close the government. But yes, there's FOMC this week. So by the looks of things, we could have a weak dollar. Don't I have a light finance account here, guys? Sorry, let me just check if I don't have a light finance account, so that we can look at that currency alone. Yeah, so that we can just have a look at that currency alone. But if not, I'll just try quickly get the login details. So that we can get a hold of light finance, and we can look at the LFX alone, the dollar alone, and what we really can see with it. But overall, we are seeing a weak dollar. So far, we can see that in USDZAR, we reached some crazy prices. Gold smashed 5,000, guys. So people always used to say, "What a time to be alive!" But right now, it's literally where we can say that USDZAR is trading below 16 rands as we speak. It's at 15.96 as we speak. Silver. Silver's flying. People don't realize how much silver has been flying. So like I said, guys, I'm not sending silver signals, but I've been trading silver, I've been buying silver, and I've been profiting off of that. So it's a really quite an interesting time to be in. And yeah, so I'm just trying to see the light finance thing. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to find my logins there, and then we're gonna have a look at it. But yes, coming back to this whilst I'm looking for that. So we can see that Bank of Canada interest rates are going to be coming out. I'm not really phased by Bank of Canada's move into to interest rates. Although for the only thing that why it could be interesting to see is the Japanese yen has strengthened, right, which has in effect caused the Canadian dollar to show quite bearish signs. So those are like fundamental 101s. I remember, was it CAD CHF that we made a little bit of money on? But there was a time when Trump was going crazy and we made some money on CAD CHF just based off of fundamentals. So yeah, I'm just looking, like I said, I'm trying to find these login details so that we can look at this and okay, I should have it. Sorry guys about that, but this should be it. So that we can have a look at oh my gosh, that we can have a look at the dollar alone or just all currencies alone. We know, like I would tell you guys that this month, January, I don't really trade as much. Although this is one of the most active Januaries I've had. And yeah, USD CAD smashing results off of USD CAD. I didn't expect the trade to go that much, but Friday night, not Friday night, but Friday it just started dropping and it went dropping even more. And because of the momentum that it was moving at, I decided, nah, I'm just gonna stay in this trade. And okay, hopefully it logs in. Oh, guys, and Cyber Ghost has been giving me the biggest troubles. Sorry, guys, I'm really struggling to log into this thing. Uh, and I don't want to say, and I don't want to give you guys some knowledge and say take my word for it. I want you guys to see the chart yourselves, and then we can look at what we can expect as far as any other currency is concerned this year. Like starting with the JPY. Now, the Japanese yen made massive shorts, massive shorts this past week. And I don't blame it. Okay, I think we logged in perfect. And then symbols. Just something. I don't. Okay, let me just close all these charts. Sorry, guys. I don't know how I didn't have this loaded up already when I do my live sessions. I normally I start with the light forex index. All right. Anyway, so I'm putting up the dollar into our charts. We can already see on a 1 hour time frame that we going down, man. So let's just zoom out to what we can see in the year, and pretty much what we've seen last year is the dollar really went and shut down last year, right? So there's no debating about it. There's no debating about it that this was a this was a sell movement. and markets just slightly retraced, and now they're going for their next low. So it would be interesting to see that. Do we continue to go lower? Because scenario one would be we continue to go lower, or we reach this point. Let me just draw here. Reach the low over there, roundabout, which we're very close to that, and we move to the upside to make highs for the year. But from a fundamental perspective, we know that Trump has not been behaving too much. We know that Trump has been starting a lot of unnecessary fights since he got into office. And again, we see gold at an all-time high of $5,000. I mean, guys, that's mind-blowing. I mean, it's the reality now. But you should see there are areas and people in America who are lining up to buy actual pieces of gold and silver. And if you don't know, right? If you don't know, firstly, silver was the best performing commodity. Silver was the best performing commodity last year, right? And that's besides what Trump is doing. But part of silver's the reason why silver has been performing so much is due to the fact that there is a shortage of materials. There is a shortage of materials that the tech industry is using. So there's a shortage of materials that the tech industry is using. So that's also contributing to the prices of gold surging. So they because of companies like Tesla, because of companies like Apple, stuff like that, that is what's driving the price of gold up. So it would be really interesting to see whether we will continue this trend going to the downside for the rest of the year, or we're going to reach the low that we did last year and continue to the upside. So that's something that we're looking for the dollar. But already from what we can see and what we're looking at, let me clean the chart. From what we can see and what we've been looking at, is that the dollar has been on a very bullish run for quite some time now. I mean, for a couple of years now, they've been quite bullish, but they're struggling to break up top there. So I do think that we can find ourselves in a position where this market is continuing down, especially with the momentum in which we opened last week. I mean, let's just zoom in on that candle and look at that candle stick alone. Now the range of that candle is relatively big, right? The range of that candle was relatively big in comparison. So that's the size of the candle. And if I can go candle by candle by candle, you guys can see that it's relatively larger than most candles, you know. So showing that the intention in which they push down, I mean, it's just almost as big as this, which it's bigger than most of them. So we can see that the intention in which they push down is quite aggressive. Now, last time they pushed down with such uncertainty, which such a force was here, and then they created such a candlestick, right, with a hammer, which suggested that we would go up, and then again, they failed to break that low again last year, right? They failed to break that low. So we are watching this low, and I feel like we'll get a very solid answer come the end of this week as to what might happen after we have FOMC come out. Because again, I said FOMC is quite a big one, and it does move the market quite a lot even after the news release. normally into the next morning or the next 2-3 days. We'll go into that. So as far as I'm going, FOMC is sell the dollar, all right? But if you don't have the risk appetite or you cannot not afford that risk, right? Rather stay out of that market and then trade the aftermath. Is that if we have a strong dollar, trade a strong dollar. If we have a weak dollar, trade the weak dollar, and don't go in like us, whom I'm personally expecting a strong dollar for then. And then another currency that I trade quite a lot, right, is the pound. So we can just quickly come out, zoom out to see what we're expecting here. So just going on to a weekly chart, right, right, we can see that after since Brexit and all of those things happened. So guys, I started trading around here, right? This is where I started trading around, and actually it was the year before that. It was no, not even the year before that. But I remember, yes, this is 2016. 2016 is not when I started trading, but that's when I started actually being profitable. So I started trading 2013, which was around here. Yes, 2013, around here, and then part of this is when I started becoming an experienced, oh my gosh, an experienced trader. And we had then Brexit come through, make a huge movement, and then I can't remember what was this 2023, what happened there. I can't remember exactly what happened there. I think it was the wrap up of Brexit, and then I'll try to remember that one. But I remember this one because I made a lot of pips that night. So I didn't make the most amount of money ever in my life because that's when I started understanding charts properly. But that night was the craziest night of my life, and I've never seen a night like that ever since. I've been trading, guys, and I've seen some crazy markets. I mean, I saw the whole COVID shenanigans happening. I've seen a lot of things happening, even the Swiss franc. Guys, you can research when they changed the cap of the Swiss franc. Some brokers even had to shut down because of what happened. But anyway, we can see that we've been looking at a recovery. And you know what they normally say, market needs to close the gap. So I do think that this year we can see a bit of a strong pound, especially I'm not a trend line trader, but just looking off of that without being a perfect trend line trader and whatnot, we can see that this market is going up. Year after year, it's been knocking the previous year's highs. Even last year, we were making higher highs, which when we make higher highs and higher lows, that's an indication of a bullish market. So I am expecting to see taking that into consideration, right? I am expecting to see, let's go week, pairs like GBP USD going up, right? We can already see we aggressively trading by last year's high. We don't look like we're gonna slow down anytime soon. We've been making high on high. There is nobody when the year was coming to an end that had a dominant force into selling. But again, like I say, it all depends on what happens when we reach this level. And one of two things are happening. It's either we smashing past that level or we're having a crazy reversal into a strong dollar, which is unlikely, but it's still possible because anything in the market is possible. Anything in Forex is possible. Maybe this guy will say tariffs, no tariffs. I saw a joke about it today. Donald Trump there. So we might see something interesting there, right? We might see something interesting. Sorry about that. So the pound, as far as the pound goes, I think as I said last year, I'm still standing on the same sentiment that we're looking at a strong pound for the year, right? And then euro. euro, and then I'll check JPY, and then we'll just wrap it up for today. I won't go into any particular currency. As I said that, guys, I might not even trade this week. USD CAD was an amazing trade, so I might not even trade this week. So yeah, Japanese yen, right? We could see that we ended the year in closing on the highs that were made last year. So I don't know if you remember, but when we broke these highs, that's when oh no, not even these highs. When we broke these highs over here, that's when I made noise about it, and I was like, yo, Euro JPY in particular, I remember, because that's one pair I like trading. I was like, nah, Euro JPY, it's never been at these prices, and I remember it here, end of 2023, and I was like, Euro JPY, it's uncharted prices for it. So we had a bit of buys into it. But obviously, a market at a certain point, because we can see, guys, it's just been buying a lot. So a market at a certain point, such as USDZAR, we can see strengthening now. Markets at a certain point do get tired, and that's why I feel we've had already to kick off a bearish, because last week it just went all bearish there. So the Japanese yen gaining strength. So I think also for this year, for maybe even a third of the year, for the first quarter, first 2 quarters. So for first quarter or first half of the year, I do think, with looking at what markets normally do, that even as they break prof zones, he used to like to say that if a market breaks a high, normally we will see a retracement there. So we can see that this market it has seemed to find a bit of support here, especially if we on the lower time frames. It came to find support at what was the previous resistance for 2024. So again, it could be a situation where it finds supports and it continues going to the upside, right? If we fail to break, we'll go to the upside. But should we trade below this price, then I believe that we could see us coming down a little bit, maybe into this second zone over here when it comes to the JPY. So pretty much the low of November, we could go there. So I am watching it very, very closely. Remember, guys, I'm looking at currencies alone. I'm not looking at any currency pair right now. With the LFX. Remember, to the guys who've been in my sessions, I always say, please get yourself the Light Finance Index, because it allows you to look at currencies individually. And then coming into to euro, right? Let's go to a weekly chart, and we can see that after last year before last, which has struggled to go up. Last year we saw relative bulls coming in, right? Which we've seen the pound continue 2 years of bulls. So I don't believe that we'd have such a good bullish momentum last year for us to not continue it this year. So for a euro, I'm looking at buying euro pairs, especially because each time it's breaking these highs, it's breaking the highs with strength, right? Let's look here. Even here, it broke it. It broke that price. So bit of a pullback there, but then I'm waiting, just watching to see when bulls come in, and then we can come in there. But also from the euro, I'm looking for strength from the euro this year. So that's my overview on these currencies this year. Obviously, we match them up. So when I say, like I say, one of the trades I'll be looking at this year, sell USD JPY, USD JPY, buy GBP USD, buy Euro USD. You know, when we match them up, then you know, like a Euro JPY or a GBP JPY won't be something I hold long, whether I'm buying or selling on the trades. It's not something that I'm gonna hold for a very long time. But looking at the thing, I think mainly this year might even be a Euro JPY seller for most of the time. Just looking at overall structure and what I've been pointing out, although the euro does seem like it's going to be strong, but maybe better pairs to trade would be CAD JPY. You know, you'd go selling CAD JPY. I think much more than you would Euro JPY. Let me just add that symbol. CAD JPY. Let me just bring that. Oh my gosh. Let me just bring that in here. Oh yeah, you can see CAD JPY. So you can see, unlike the other currency pairs, which the last 4 hours was a bullish candle. Do you see the last 4 hours here has been bearish candle? So it's showing us that pairs like CAD JPY, I think I'll be a big CAD JPY seller this year should the JPY start moving down. So those are the things that we think about, we look at. Please, guys, don't ask me on gold. I know people are making big money buying gold right now. I when it comes to gold and silver, I'll go and trade them without sending signals because it's something there where I feel is those aren't my things. So I'd rather take the risk onto myself, although general sentiment is bullish. And I know that the idea on a lot of people right now is what we say, buy the dip. So I know people who, as soon as it starts falling down, they'll most likely buy. And like I say, from a fundamental point of view, silver still has reasons to continue on its bullish trends. We might just see a bit of a market correction in the move it's made. So by that I mean we may see some aggressive sells, and then after all of those sells come in, then we'll continue to make higher highs. So be careful when trading those things, because this is a very new, funny feeling to the world to see gold at $5,000 an ounce. So I know, even from a political point of view, there are people that are quite nervous about that going on. And we know that the dollar is inverse to the gold. So the higher that gold goes is the weaker gold gets. I mean, the higher gold goes is the weaker the dollar gets. So again, a lot of people do have their money in USD. A lot of people do have their money in dollars. So people might be a little bit afraid and might want to manipulate the price of gold to fall down so that their dollars can start to have a little bit of value again. So that's why I don't have any long-term look on paper, especially for silver. We can continue to see it rise, but then I can't be fully confident in saying that. And so when trading commodities this year, I'd say be cautious, make your money. Now don't be like, I'm not gonna trade this because this is what he said, but just be a little bit cautious. But yeah, guys, don't forget Wednesday, then FOMC, which I feel like if we have a change of interest rates, whether positive or negative, it will change quite a lot. And I feel like let's just wait for that to happen. Let's just wait for FOMC before we go and commit ourselves to more gold trades. But thank you guys for coming out. Let's do the most. Let's see how this January ends. And then from next month, we're going in hard. We're going in ham. But yeah, guys, take care. Take care. Cheers.